Recorded live at the Depends for Men Undergarment Studios in Orange County, California. It's the Indispensable Thursday Show with Sable and Dave. Mediocrity never goes out of style.
Getting into a groove on that. That's nice stuff. So, hey, Sable, what's
Hey,
going
Dave,
on?
Happy New Year!
Dude, we already had a Happy New Year show, didn't we?
That was last year.
Yeah.
That was last month. Last week.
Last week.
Okay.
Jeez, man. Are you still writing 2015 on your checks?
I sure am.
Yeah.
I had to scratch it out and initialize it.
I wanted to jump in. I forgot. I thought you were going to talk, and then I'd interrupt you as I always do. So you threw me off by having me talk there. I was going to say I'm Dave, your reverse Brita filter, taking in the news of the day and filtering out anything useful.
Except the shit.
And filling your glass with only the most toxic of opinions. That's my refined version of what Jesse said I was doing.
Oh, you look like you were reading that.
I wrote it down just before because I was like, oh, I like this. It was inspired by Jesse. I'm going to work that into my new intro.
That is fantastic.
Reverse Brita filter, RBF.
Reverse Brita filter. Nice.
Yeah, so I thought we were going to have a person sitting in today, but you're at the next show.
Next week is the Wednesday before the NAMM show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already starting to plan out all the cool meetups, all the really interesting people that I'm so lucky I get to go hang out with for a few minutes here or there.
Mm-hmm.
And we're close enough that if I do end up drinking too much, I'll just call an Uber and leave my car in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's what Uber's for.
That's what Uber's for.
I don't pick up those people though. I just pick up the little old ladies who need to go to the neck doctor or whatever it is.
It may actually be cheaper for me just to Uber to the convention center and not even bother to pay for parking this year.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Taking a sip of my Lagunitas Maximus.
Oh yeah, thanks for bringing over the Lagunitas. Yeah. And I also poured us a nice fine schnitzel.
I'm still low carbing, so I'm going a little easy on these things. But you can actually do those if you've been good all day. I'm going to sneeze. This is terrible. I better plug my nose or something. Can I just do the rest of the show like this?
That would be excellent.
Mm-hmm. So do you have anything burning in your loins to talk about this week?
I got a burning fire in my loins. No, just a couple of gripes. You know, I don't usually gripe outside of the show. I try to save up all my griping for the show itself.
Okay, yeah.
But I've started a series of trainings this year. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting because I'm doing these all day. It's 5 hours of instruction between 10 and 4. But I need to be there around 9:40 to get set up and prepared and do a little bit of work after to get cleaned up and ready for the next day. So it's really 6.5, 7 hours of actual training. And I'm doing it 10 times this month.
Jeez. Yeah.
So I'm basically not able to do any work of my regular job, which is fine because, training's part of my regular job.
Sure.
But I got all these phone calls and emails are piling up and people are like, is there any way we can get this thing done before January 29th? It's like, no. We really need 4 hours to work on this project. Well, it's actually about 6 hours over 3 days.
And no,
not this month. Well, if I'll buy you lunch. I was like, it's not about lunch.
I don't have a lunch. I'm working through my lunches. Wow.
It's not about lunch. It's I can't help you with the thing that you probably shouldn't be doing anyways, but I'm going to do because it's your office.
Yep. Fuck that guy.
But it's going to take 6 hours over 3 days, and I don't have that time for you until February. So good fucking luck.
So you didn't insult anybody, but let me give you a pointer because I sat in for the first few minutes of that one, and when you told all the ladies to put their training bras on, and you were going to come around and check because they're doing training, not a good idea. They probably went right to HR. So ixnay on that. Yeah.
Some of those ladies might have felt that it was a compliment.
Yeah, because you'd be saying that they're young or that they have very small breasts. I don't know.
Or desirable.
Yeah, or young and or desirable or...
I had a really interesting compliment as I was talking with somebody. I do actually get a chance to sit down and eat some lunch. And I was talking with someone. She has some twins that are 6 years old, single mom.
Oh, actual okay.
Actual twins, not twins, like on her chest, twins, but small children who are sick. So we were just chatting about kids a little bit, as we parents do. And somehow she mentioned that she thought she'd be the oldest lady in the room having kids so late because she was in her 40s. And she was shocked to find that all the other parents were about the same age.
It's the new trend.
Or older.
Postpone growing up as long as you can, because you can now.
And I mentioned that I'm 40, and she said, "Oh, you don't look 40. You don't have wrinkles or anything." And I was like, all the white, like the snow-covered face.
Well, that's because you get your shipments of Palestinian children's blood to smear on your near your crow's feet area before you go to bed. I heard that about you Jews.
Well, the transfusions.
That too.
We bring in,
Is that what that little IV stand was by your bed?
We have a special company that just gets the blood from the children, and then we get to transfuse it in ourselves. So not only can we take their money, but we can take their life too.
Well, good. This serves them right.
I'm just kidding. Jews don't take the blood of small children
for any reason at all.
But we do wear.
Unless it's donated,
but
you could give it to someone else.
But some of us do wear those funny hats to cover up our horns.
Yeah.
The rabbi in Texas, who was my buddy at the time, Yonatan, he went to a local school to go talk to them, and share a little bit about, different religions. And they asked, "Can I see your horns?" My parents said, "You hide your horns under your hat."
Oh, that's great.
And he was so flabbergasted. That was like the whole end of the day. He couldn't say anything. He didn't know how to respond. But then he came back and he was very upset.
Yeah, geez. I would have made up some weird thing about their parents to send them home with, I don't know what, though.
See, I would have been arrested because I would have said, "I keep my horns in my pants. Do you want to see it?"
Yeah, I would, if I was good at improv, this is where I'd go into a bit, but I suck.
Oh, what kind of a bit would you go into, Dave?
Go into a bit where, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I can't even fathom.
All right, I want to ask you a question about Uber.
Yeah. I haven't really done any lately.
You haven't?
No. The last two were very uneventful. Hey, how's it going? Oh, there you go. Bye. Oh, yeah. It's all automatically. It's all done automatically.
So you go out and drive for 20, 30 minutes, you make what, $5-10?
Depends. Different ones, depending on the time and the mileage and the time of day, and if you're in a certain area. It could be, could be more. We drove to LA one day. I think I made like $40 or something.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah. Airport was like $35.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible. Especially if you like driving and listening to podcasts, you're just, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, a lot of like little short hops could be $5-10. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Are you a Skype user?
No, I would have thought I would have been a Skype user because as a kid, you'd see. You remember 2001: A Space Odyssey? They invented the iPad there. They also invented the video phone. Oh, that'd be great! And now we have it. And I never want to use it. I don't want to look at them while I'm talking to them.
Well, the video phone that you never use is finally going to allow multiple videos on your phone. Okay. So you could do group video on the computer if you paid them, but now they're going to allow group video on the phone for free.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty good. Good for meetings and such.
But just good for hanging out with friends.
Yeah. Do you ever just FaceTime a friend? Like you and I have never talked that way. Unless we were doing it for the show or something, we would do it. But we never have. I never want to just.
No, we just text.
Texting that's the thing they didn't envision in 2001. But this 2001, it's a good use of it because he's away on a space station and it's his daughter's birthday. So that's very appropriate. I would do that too on Skype, but you generally don't use Skype unless it's for something like that. Like, they live across the other side of the world and we want to see them. And it's family members and it's once a year, or whatever.
And then you use Skype or FaceTime?
I don't know, probably Skype.
Because everyone that I know, we use FaceTime.
Yeah, you have to be on iPhones, both of you, right?
Right. When there is a video call that happens, it's a FaceTime video call.
Some of I think the only FaceTimes I've gotten are accidental FaceTimes, like a butt dial FaceTime or a ball dial, or a sack dial.
Oh, nice!
Because I keep it in my front pocket, so whenever
you
I sack dial someone,
you pick up the FaceTime and there's a big sack there.
Yeah, I guess, or riding in my pocket, or someone's pocket, right?
Well, that's exciting. Well, the grandparents will oftentimes FaceTime.
Yeah, so that's what it's for. It's the grandparents checking in. It's cool. That's cool.
And they're smart. They set their iPad down on the table so they can sit back on the couch, right?
Yeah, that's perfectly good.
And we get a nice scene of them, and then we pass it around and show everybody what everybody's doing, and
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
that's fine. That's fine. That's perfect use for that. But generally, we text. I love texting. It's just shooting a little message to someone's pocket or purse. It's great. And
See,
I hate talking on the phone.
I like the idea of I like messaging. I don't like SMS messages. So I like iMessages. That's good. That's
You
data.
do more than 140 characters. Is that what you're saying? Or what's the SMS message? What's the
165 characters.
on what?
But I don't like the concept of a text message. I just don't like the way that I get it unlimited, so it's not a big deal. I can send you text messages or iMessages or Skype messages or Slack messages, or if you were a Facebook message guy. Or I recently installed one. Have you heard of this? It's called Peach.
Peach.
Now, I thought it was going to be like a random sex video chat app. So I installed it right away, right? I
You
mean,
had me at random.
look at the icon there. See that Peach icon?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that look like it could be a secret
Yeah.
X-rated app?
Yeah. Shape of a girl's butt. It looks like it's a little bit.
A little roundy
a
butt.
lot of things have that shape when I look at them. So that's no exception.
So nobody's on it. Oh wait, somebody's on it. No, it's just me. So you can you can put animated GIFs.
All right.
You can
So that's where
send
people are making all these stupid animated GIF or GIFs.
you can send pictures. You can draw. But I can't tell if it's more like an instant messenger or a Facebook or a Twitter, or if maybe I caught onto the Peach
the
train
world will
too slow.
decide very soon.
It might be that everyone's already deleted Peach
Could be.
and they've already moved on, and I'm just
Could
late
be.
to it.
Could be.
You never know.
What else you want to talk about? I didn't get to talk about the Big Short movie last week, which I wanted to talk about. You want to go into that, or do you have any other beefs that you wanted to share first?
Trying to be a little beef. Well, I like to eat beef, but have less beefs.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I had a good dinner before you came over. I cooked up 2 chicken sausages and 2 fresh eggs from my chickens. In a
You
big
actually
bowl.
have chickens running around your backyard. That's so awesome. I like that.
And I had 2 fresh eggs from them. It was great. Nice dinner. I was
Cool.
thinking about you and your low carb. I said, I might have a beer with Dave.
Yeah.
I better
That's
make sure
good.
not to have any bread.
That's the way to do it.
Bread. Oh, this is such an exciting pod this week, Dave.
I know. Diet pod.
There was and I need to go back and look at my Twitter feed. You can find my Twitter feed is at Sable Cantus. Somewhere in there, I found the date for Game of Thrones,
Oh.
and I think it has gone already to my auto delete.
Okay.
But it's coming up.
Proper.
It's coming up in April.
Okay.
All right. So tell me about The Big Short.
The Big Short. Yeah. Big Short movie about the housing bust. And I neglected to put in my notes here like who directed and wrote and all that stuff because it's not really this kind of. It's not really a movie show per se. I like to talk about
Right.
what did you learn from the movie? Is it good?
We could start our movie podcast though on Sunday nights if we wanted to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll get Kent involved on that one because he was down. So I watched The Big Short. Now, The Big Short was mentioned a few months ago when we had Gordon Miller from the Cinema Centuries on.
Right.
He had seen it. Didn't like it. I got to disagree. I thought it was a pretty good film. One reason he gave, he said he couldn't get into the characters because it was sort of forcing you to root for the economy to fail, which
Right.
I guess it kind of does. But you know what? Not really. It's kind of like the Titanic.
Okay.
The movie Titanic is not about let's try to stop the boat from sinking. That would be a retarded way to have the movie because everybody knows, well, the boat does sink.
The boat sank.
So you can't have a movie, let's try to stop the boat from sinking because we all know it's going to sink. So the movie's about who's going to survive. We just introduced new characters that we like. How's it going to play out when it sinks and who's going to survive? We hope, I hope that guy gets to live. That's where the tension comes in. I want this person to live. They're made up characters, or maybe they're not, but nobody knows who are the survivors really on the Titanic when you go into the movie. Similar film here. Now, this actually is like Zero Dark 30. It is a procedural documentary. No real clear-cut hero villain going on here.
So Zero Dark 30, totally shitty documentary.
I liked Zero Dark 30.
Interesting subject.
Yeah.
But I didn't find any part of the filmmaking. I didn't
No?
see. There was no storytelling. I liked the fact that we were like real people were getting in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't a memorable piece of art that I could go back to.
I probably won't watch it again, but I thought it was, well done. But it was a procedural documentary film.
Okay.
It was not like if you're
That's
going
the
in.
key.
Yeah, if you're going in expecting to see a Luke Skywalker mythic hero, big character arc, that's not what it is. This movie kind of similar. We got like a Titanic movie now. The bust, the Titanic in this one is the housing bust, which is already gonna happen. We all know it's gonna happen.
Right.
It's already been set
because
in motion.
we had to live through it.
Yeah, we know. Yes, exactly. Everybody knows. And when this movie starts, it's basically the so to speak, the iceberg is already ripped through the side of the boat and it's sinking now. Here's the thing: is what's cool about this movie is the characters it follows, maybe 5 or 6 characters, and they're all kind of there's like 3 or 4 independent groups of people that realize, hey, the housing market is going to crash, and they were like a years ahead. They knew it was going to happen, and there's nothing you couldn't stop it. So it's just watching them like, how are we going to make money from this? Which I thought, oh, this is cool because I want to see people. There's a thing about liking characters I talk about a lot. You don't have to want to be his friend in a movie necessarily, but you have to like the character in that you want to see him either get punished or succeed. You want to watch this guy doing what he's doing because he's good. He's good. These guys are all very skilled at this stuff. Whatever this,
They're
this is
financial instruments.
yeah. This is stuff most people don't understand. They don't work in these industries. So when you see these guys talking all these things, and one of the characters played by what's his name, Christian Bale, I was going to say the "good for you"
Oh,
when he
the
went
Batman?
off on that guy. Yeah, he's kind of an a-hole.
I'm Batman.
Yeah, Christian Bale. He plays this sort of maybe almost idiot savant, like medical doctor who quit and went into financial because he's not very good with numbers. But he's like I think he's kind of the first guy that went, everything is going to crash. Like he crunched the numbers and he realized it's all going to crash. And it kind of trickled out from him maybe that other people started figuring out, oh, this is interesting. Wait, let's look into this because this guy asked us to buy all these credit default swaps or whatever it was.
Right.
There's a lot of jargon in there too. So
Okay.
it's fun watching all these super smart guys, and they're funny too. Some of them are funny.
Okay.
There is at least one guy who's likable. It's the Steve Carell character. He's sort of the moral guy that he's really disgusted with what's going on. They're all kind of shocked and disgusted that this happened, but some of them are like, "Hey, it's going to happen anyway. I'm going to make money now." So
Right.
I'm going to, so it's really fun to see how they make money on this. And basically the idea is we're going to try to buy all these things that we know are going to go bad, but since we know we're going to go bad, we can insure them for a very high rate, and they will have to pay us when they fail. But everyone, when they went to people saying, "Hey, we want to buy those," they're like, "Okay." Because they the housing market is the most stable thing in the world.
Right.
Why would you think they're going to fail? So everybody was perfectly happy to insure all of these credit default swaps for these guys. So it's pretty funny to watch them doing that.
Yeah,
But-
well, and until we had our housing crash, the housing had never gone down. In California, it had never gone down. You could guarantee that over any 15-year period, your property would make money, significant amount of money, at any 15-year period through as long as we've been doing real estate in California. I don't know if that's true anywhere else.
Yeah, but now I want to get to some of so it's really fun to watch this play out. Who's going to do well? Who's going to, and it's near the end even. It's like things are starting to crash, but the people, like all the banks won't admit it. So they're like, oh shit, what's going on? They won't. They're still not able to. They basically have the winning ticket, and no one will cash it. It's great.
Is it based on fact?
I think it is, yeah, and
Okay.
except for one glaring omission is that they forget to talk about good old Uncle Sam's role in this whole thing. Never mentioned, really.
Oh, you mean TARP?
Yeah, well, no, TARP came after. Yeah,
TARP came
I'm
after.
talking about when that Bill Clinton started in the '90s was basically the Wall Street guys are not innocent. They all were selling houses to people who couldn't afford it, and they knew exactly
Right.
what they're doing. But there's a reason why so many of them did it, and that's because they knew they weren't going to get in trouble for it. Why did they know they weren't going to get in trouble for it? Because the government basically said, you need to make loans to people that can't afford them. They basically told them that you need to do this because there was charges of racism because, obviously people of color are poorer, they can't afford houses. So obviously it's not math, it has to be racism. So we will make you loan to people who can't put a proper down payment on a house. They also, the government, because of zoning laws and things like this. And by the way, the housing bust didn't really happen in places where there was plenty of land. Like there was no housing bust to speak of in like Texas, like Houston area. They don't have zoning laws there. Wherever houses need to go, they just go there. So the property values are not artificially elevated there, like they are, say, in Northern California around, and the coastal areas where zoning laws say you can't build here, you can't build here, you can't build here. Smaller and smaller areas get cordoned off for building. Price gets shot up artificially.
Or like San Francisco, where there's a finite amount of land.
Yeah,
more and more people with higher incomes are coming in.
But even there, they've made sections of that, off limits for building houses and building, so it's driving up prices.
And that's why it's $5,000 for a studio apartment in San Francisco.
Yep, that's right. And so it's watching these guys all figure this out. We all know it's going to happen, so it's kind of fun. And when you set up people who are that they're wrong and they're like threatening these people, you guys are a bunch of idiots, and you're like, haha, you're going to get yours. So it's fun like that. There's little scenes like that they're going to get their comeuppance or. So there's lots of good payoffs for little setups like that, and it's a fun movie. Also, by the way, somebody else brought this up sort of, and I was going to pile onto it too. It's like seeing a movie though from Hollywood where they're lecturing people about shady finances, pretty fucking hilarious. I was thinking it's like Jared Fogle making an anti-child molesting movie.
Oh.
It's like, fuck off, you.
Hey, that could be part of his punishment. He could have to go onto all those sites and say how taking advantage of small children is wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this is. I mean, Star Wars has made $850 million. Bet you the books are not showing a profit yet, and they never ever fucking will. Because then they have to start paying out points for people, and they'll fucking fight tooth and nail not to do that. They're a bunch of assholes. Now, only the top people, like J.J. Abrams, will probably get some points, and all the other people they promised points to, oh yeah, well we're still in the red on this one. And you're like, it made $1.5 billion. I'm projecting that probably what it will make.
Okay, but
they'll never fucking pay out. You have to sue them to get your money. Fuck Hollywood, they're such assholes.
Well, they paid
except for the people that might be buying my new screenplay. Mr. I don't want to say your name, but he's a big producer.
They paid $4 billion for Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way they'll say that we haven't made our money back yet. Exactly.
So the entire Star Wars franchise that a whole generation of Americans grew up with is worth less than 20% of WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Or that's Oculus Rift. Facebook bought WhatsApp for $20 billion. Wow. 20 billion.
Damn, WhatsApp? That's just a texting app, right?
Yeah. Well, it's texting, phone calls, pictures. In is it Brazil? I think in Brazil, 97% of people use WhatsApp.
Jesus. Wow.
So I've got WhatsApp installed on my phone.
There's probably a lot of hot sexting going on there with those chicks. With those girls are amazing with their blonde hair and their brown oily butts with the little G strings. Oh man, they're gorgeous.
We're gonna have to put an anti-wife warning on this one.
Check out The Big Short. It's very fun, actually.
How would I watch The Big Short? Tell me.
Well, it's probably coming on to video shortly. It's just still playing in theaters.
It's in theaters.
It's still coming. It's got some Oscar buzz. So I don't know how it did the Golden Globes. I did not watch them, and I never watched them. I don't know how it did there.
What? You don't watch award shows?
No. I watch the Oscars sometimes, but I don't watch the Golden Globes ever.
Dave, you could have watched it in HD for free.
Yeah?
Who cares?
No, I don't
over
really
the
care.
air. It comes over
I don't
TV.
care. Oh, okay. I don't care about the Golden Globes so much.
All right.
So someone can maybe let us know if they watch. But fun movie. But keep in mind, the government basically set this all into motion. They caused it. Republicans didn't do shit about it during the Bush years. They were like, "Hey, everything seems to be okay." I have no idea what they knew was. Look, nobody knew it was going to happen. I'm just saying because of retarded regulations and do-gooderism, this is what you get at the end of this. It's like what they started doing was, let me get into it because this is the real housing boom, not the movie. I'm not giving away. I don't want to give. This is not giving things away.
Well, let me tell you what I recall.
Yeah. I
remember that people were allowed, they would say, okay, Dave, you have a good job, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And you think that, you're going to get promoted in your job.
Probably. I'm really good.
Everybody makes a lot more money 5 years down the road, right? So why don't we do this loan? Now, the housing is only going to be more and more valuable.
Yeah, it always goes up.
So I know you think that this $750,000 house is out of range, but you know, your wife, your kids, they really loved it. You saw them in the backyard. How about this? I can get you into this house and we'll set it up.
Do you need do you need to verify my employment?
Well, you have a job, right?
Yeah, I have a job.
Okay, so
good enough.
So this is how it's going to work. You have 5 years at this really affordable rate that you told me you can afford.
Yeah.
And in those 5 years, you're going to get promoted. You're going to take care of some other stuff. You're going to pay off your car.
I'll probably sleep with some of the upper people. I will get kicked upstairs. Yeah.
So within 5 years, you're going to be able to afford the payment.
The higher
in 5 years, no problem.
It's going to go up a little bit, but I'll take it. I'll be further along in my career at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? If it doesn't work out, it's no problem. Your house will be worth double. You could just sell.
Yeah, exactly. Or refinance,
right?
Whatever.
It's going to be worth $1.5 million.
So millions of people were told this, basically.
I wouldn't even sell you this house right now if I didn't need to make a little money off of this myself. Because otherwise I would hold on to it because it's going to double. 5 years, Dave. It's going to double.
There's no chance it won't. Yeah, so
that's the housing bubble.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nutshell.
Yeah, that's pretty much. And then once they started realizing, some of these loans are going to start default. Some people were just in little pockets. They realized some of these are going to default. So they started bundling them up together. But since they're quote unquote now, because you've got a bunch of them, quote unquote, they're diversified now. Then they get a new rating of A rating, the top rating because they're diverse. Then those get resold to other banks. Everybody's basically getting AIDS. All the banks are getting AIDS. They're all having there's a patient zero somewhere. They're all fucking that patient. They're all getting AIDS, and then their immune system gets attacked all at about the same time. Because this guy knew. He said as soon as the interest rates on these start going up and their payments start going up, we're going to start seeing, and he calculated out, the guy in here, this is what the characters are who are really good at stuff. I like watching people who are fucking good at this stuff, and it was amazing to watch him, how he figures out the stuff. They didn't get too into detail, but you're like, oh, that's cool. He's in the garage playing drums with Metallica, but he's also this math genius, and he's figured it all out. He knows exactly when it's going to start crumbling. It's really fun to watch that. So,
sounds good. I think
it's cool. Check it out.
I'll have to get Popcorn Time and see how it
I may or may not have watched it from Popcorn Time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
So check out The Big Short. Don't listen to Gordon at Cinema Centuries. He's all wet on this one.
And if you have any thoughts about The Big Short or the housing crisis, which Dave and I both benefited from, you can call us and let us know at
657-206-0777.
You got that number, Dave?
Yeah. I'll just let Jesse do it.
The number is
657-206-0777.
There's also, if you want to learn more about this stuff, go read the Thomas Sowell book called Housing Boom and Bust. Lays it all out. It's actually very easy to understand. Once you understand the government made them do it, there's a tacit understanding of, hey, it's okay, don't worry about it. Everyone said, okay, we won't worry about it. No one worried about it, and there's no reason to worry about it right now. It's all gone. So.
Well, as a side note, I did personally benefit from the housing boom. I didn't own property before, and I saw there was no chance in hell I was ever going to be able to afford to buy anything but a shit shack. But then all of a sudden the housing market crashed, and houses that were $600,000 were suddenly $4.
Which, by the way, is their proper value.
Right.
They got artificially inflated and then boom, back down to normal range, which is what they're supposed to be at.
So when housing prices dropped by
exactly what we did as well.
When a third of the cost dropped, I was able to, with family help and having 3 jobs, and we were able to make it work. And now I live in a beautiful but modest and small house.
Is it time to talk about our new sponsor?
Dave, I definitely want to hear about the sponsor.
Let me see if I can find it, because I had a meeting with these guys today.
Now, for you listeners, usually I take care of the sponsorship, but I haven't been out promoting sponsors the last couple months. We've been busy getting our video stuff ready and working on some other projects that I'm way behind on. So I kind of let the sponsorship ball drop. So Dave,
I went rogue and I decided to have some meetings with these guys.
He so kindly picked it up. Now, the only problem, I'm afraid, Dave, that if you got a check for $5,000, you might tell me that we only got $1,000 and I might get $500 out of the deal. So
yeah.
I don't really think
something like that. I'll show you
possible.
all the. I'll be completely transparent. Do you?
You're a trans? I didn't know you were trans.
I'd rather not talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. Anyway, when you're showering, You're in the shower, you notice that water collecting at your feet, it's starting to kind of raise. You got that soapy, mucky water kind of, it's not draining too fast. Coming up, it's up to your ankles.
I'm going to go along with you on this, but
Have you ever had that happen?
It has happened.
Yeah,
in the
you're in an
past,
apartment or whatever. Well, I hate that too. Well, Liquid Plumber, now that's not the normal Liquid Plumber you're thinking. This is a very differently spelled one so that they wouldn't get sued.
Okay.
You know, I think it's PLUMMER or something. They have a new product that can get you squeaky clean while you're unclogging that pesky drain at the same time. Do you think
What?
you'd use a product like that?
So I could be putting the snake down the drain hole.
It's better than that. It's easier, Sable. Pipe Dream.
Oh.
It's a revolutionary product that will do just that. Just use it like you would any shower gel, Sable. After you just put it on your hair, on the armpits, just lather up.
You got to get the crotch.
Everything
Yeah.
as the water rinses it off, it goes down the drain, starts to work instantly. After the first shower, your drain should be completely clear, and you'll be clean as a whistle. Sable. Now, when you sign up, they give you one free full-size sample of their fantastic vanilla bean scented gel.
Oh.
Okay, now I get to the dark side here. This is a little bit. There's some side effects.
My
Hold on.
wife will like that.
Yes.
The drain will always be clean
Yeah.
and it will smell good.
It smells very good. Now, the side effects could include skin loss, skeletal damage, multi-organ failure, death, and anal leakage. This is just in the lab setting so far.
But
so
they always have to say that, right?
it's a formality.
I mean, I bought a loaf of bread and it said warning side effects may cause
that kind of stuff.
hair
Exactly.
loss, skeletal damage, spinal injury,
multi-organ
death or anal
failure,
leakage.
yada yada yada. You always see that. So blah blah blah. So anyway, I think
So
you
this
should,
is no big
so
deal.
hurry though, because they are under investigation by the FDA. So you should probably get yours now. Pipe Dream. We have a link on our website somewhere. I think you put in there. Use the promo code. My God, it burns. Now you have to put exclamation point in there if you're going to get us the credit for that. So put my God, it burns exclamation point.
So you didn't use this yet?
No,
Okay.
it's still in the box. Amazon put it at the door yesterday. I'm going to open it up.
All right. Well, thanks a
Thanks,
lot.
Pipe Dream.
Thanks a lot to Pipe Dream. All right. Now that the segment's over, I have to give you a little tip. When you're negotiating with them, have them send you the product first so you could try it. Just in case, you know.
Okay.
Like when
taken.
when the Casper Mattress Company sponsors us, they'll send us new mattresses to try
It's
out.
weird because I had to give them $10,000 as a retainer for their to advertise their product. Is that like standard practice, or
I think you should contact an attorney.
how about Rob, your friend? Can we call Rob?
Let's get Rob. Rob, are you out there? Rob.
So anyway, do we have anything else going on besides Pipe Dream? Thanks, Pipe Dream.
Pipe Dream. Well, you know, BuzzFeed? I think it was BuzzFeed had some questions for us.
Yeah, there's this is questions from black people to white people. We thought, well, we're white people.
This is 24 questions that black people have for white
See if you
people.
can get on, are you going to do each one as we go and like try to hit the button? And
I
pause
can
it?
play
See
and pause if you like.
play and pause. We'll
All right, let's make sure
All right.
that the volume's loud enough on this.
Yeah.
I'll turn it up a little bit, and let's check it out. "24 questions, media and culture."
Why do you always make such horrible decisions in horror movies?
Dave?
Well, here's one thing. They're kind of afraid these days to show black people making a stupid decision. If you're going to make a stupid decision, it's got to be the white folks. But by the same token, I remember the old Eddie Murphy bit from his what was it? One of his comedy shows where he's talking
Eddie
about
Murphy,
They
Rob.
can't have a was that the one Rob?
Yeah,
He's talking
it was
about they can't have. She probably got that from that, but him saying you can't have a horror movie with black people because as soon as the voice says "get out," they're like, "Oh, too bad we can't stay," and they all just leave. But the white people have to stay, But I think it's you can't have black people making dumb decisions. You have to be white people to make dumb decisions.
Have you ever met one of those like super hot blondes that would be in the they would be in the show? Have you ever met one?
Yeah.
They make those decisions in real life every day.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not cool to split up.
Why do you freak out when black people are cast to play white fictional characters?
What's the big
Why do you freak out when black people are cast to play white fictional characters?
I don't. Have you ever freaked out about?
I don't
that?
even understand the question.
I think they're probably talking about Idris Elba playing James Bond. Remember, we have Barack Obama playing James Bond.
Yeah,
We have a
Barack
trailer
Obama.
for that. You can go look. It's called From Hawaii with Hope. Go check it out on
Hawaii
YouTube.
with Hope on YouTube.
Yeah. I have no beef with that at all.
Okay.
But they're probably talking about, I think Rush Limbaugh went off a little bit on that because he was like, what? James Bond's a Scottish guy. He's got to, come on.
Well, Rush Limbaugh's he can be a jerk, but he does it for the ratings and he makes a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I think he just tells his opinion and people like what he hears. But I didn't hear that segment, but I bet he didn't just say, I hate black people, I don't want them to play James Bond, which is probably
All
what
right.
they think he said. I bet he didn't.
Well-
but I think some people probably have an issue with, I don't know. I don't care.
The listeners can't see the video, but the video is like a really young millennial guy. So maybe he actually thinks that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't care if now
He may actually have a
well,
filter.
here's a reverse thing. Do you
well,
think
well, Dave, that guy in the video, that really young, like
The
sort
hipster guy?
hipster guy, he may literally have a filter that whenever an old white dude speaks, the only thing that comes out of his mouth is "I hate black people."
Yeah.
I hate right.
Oh, I'm sure he has that.
Which you and I don't hate black people, but let's listen to the next question. There's a lot of them.
I feel if Idris Elba plays James Bond, I would go see it twice.
Why is a big butt and big lips considered attractive on a white woman, but they're unattractive on a black woman?
Do y'all
Pause.
Pause. I was
I
pausing.
have to rag on this chick, but I have an answer for this. Okay,
Oh.
what did she say? Big butts and lips.
She said a big butt and big lips.
Okay, here's the rule of thumb on this: big butts. And
Wait,
big
we don't say
lips.
rule of thumb on this podcast.
Oh, we don't.
A rule of thumb was the amount of bruising that you were allowed to have when you beat your wife. It has to be covered by your thumb. Otherwise, somebody would ask you to stop beating your wife so badly.
I thought it was the stick that you're using can't be wider than your thumb.
The mark that you left
Okay,
has to be covered up by your thumb.
all right.
Or you're beating your wife
the
too
mark
much.
has been- okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, what's wrong with that, though? All right. So
As
the,
long
the
as she does the
standard
dishes,
practice,
it's okay,
here-
right?
Here's how you decide this: big lips and big butts are attractive on attractive girls.
Oh,
They are unattractive on ugly girls. So it doesn't matter what color they are. If it's an ugly black chick, then it's going to be bad. If it's a hot black chick, those are good things.
Oh,
And the same thing with white chicks.
ooh, good comeback. Take that.
Zing!
Think Miley is the one who created twerking? Really?
Why am I supposed to?
What did he say?
Do you think Miley is the one who created twerking?
I'm still lost. Help
You know
me.
what twerking is? I'm not going to
I'm not
demonstrate
sure.
twerking for you. Twerking is sort of a dance move, I guess you could say, where the usually female is sort of bent over, shaking her ass in a very suggestive way.
Oh,
You know that.
It's the sex grind dance move.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But
Oh,
they're
I
really
like
shaking
that.
it, Though they're claiming invention of the twerking, I suppose it's fine. I don't really have a comment on that. I don't think Miley invented it. I don't give a shit who invented the twerking. Whatever.
Okay.
So I
Miley
don't care.
Cyrus, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I like her. She's like spiraled out of control and crazy naked
Yeah.
downfall. I love that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Teach you how to twerk. I don't know how to twerk.
Why is it that white people always act as though they have discovered a new trend when people of color have been doing it for virtually years?
Why is it
Why? Oh, discovered a new trend? Well, it's,
Yeah, I don't-
it's the
I
first
don't know.
time that we came across it, so it's new to us.
I guess. Always pretend that we invented it. I don't know. I have to think of an example. Well, twerking. I mean, maybe he was following up on the twerking. I don't know. If I say a joke that I stole from someone, I always give them credit.
Okay.
But
If we go a question back, Growly Bear said the best example is when Samuel Jackson played Nick Fury.
Oh, okay.
That was a good example.
I wouldn't care if this is going to get me in trouble now. I wouldn't care if Benedict Cumberbatch played Othello.
Oh.
I wouldn't care.
As long as the rest of the cast was black.
Whatever. I
Right.
don't really care. They're fictional characters.
It's a movie, guys. All right.
I don't care if Jesus is black. Maybe he was. Who knows? I guess he was a Jew, so he probably wasn't black. So.
He would have been dark skinned.
Yeah, he was swarthy.
Swarthy. All right, let's see what the woman speaking now has very tall hair, kind of like my middle child, and she's wearing a bright colored tank top, and she slouches.
She's got a natural, even though there's a part in it. It's going over.
she's got a natural, but
She's cute.
But she slouches. She has bad posture, and and her face looks like she's always criticizing. She doesn't look like a happy woman. Let's see.
a black woman wears her hair natural? It's seen as inappropriate. But when a white woman does, it's praised.
This is the
I don't know what she's talking about at all. I always like the naturals on the black chicks. I like the naturals on the white chicks. So I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm actually not sure what you mean by natural.
Natural is just let the fro go, you know.
Oh.
You know,
I can't
call
get
it
away
the
with
Jufro.
that.
I know a girl with the Jufro. She's Jewish, and she's got the Jufro. They call it the Jufro, which appropriated Afro into Jufro. So that's another thing that. But Jews would not claim they invented the phrase Jufro because it's obviously a derivative of Afro.
I have to cut my hair and put gel on it. Otherwise, I get the Jufro. Even though I don't have the tight curly hair, it's just I went in to get a haircut the other day, and it was just 4 inches of hair straight up all the way around.
Oh, my.
I call it the Q-tip.
Oh, my. The Jew-tip?
The Jew-tip. Oh, no. See, the Jew-tip is a sexual reference.
Yeah, that's the circumcised. Again, it comes down to if your chick's hot, doesn't matter what the hair looks like. No, I like the naturals. I that's awesome. I don't know.
I like it.
I don't care. I don't know.
I like the curly hair girls.
But she's implying that it's okay. It's special if the white woman does it. But I don't know.
Okay.
You're way off on that one.
Hair that I was born with, so you wearing it as a trend is not cute.
Like, can you appropriate my student loans?
Can you appropriate my student loans? No.
No, you should
Take that off my hands?
Why is it
We should take all student loans off your hands, by the way. But let's hear what this guy says.
that white crime is seen as an isolated incident, but black crime is a representation of my entire community?
This is funny because this is where both sides would say that each side does that to them. Like every white guy who shoots up a movie theater, it's like, oh, it's those white Republicans. Obviously, it gets, but they're just saying, well, you do this, you do that with us. It's like, of course, all black men are gangsters who want to. No, it's true. All black men are gangsters who do want to just shoot me as they're driving by, but no, they're not. But this is it's one of those cases where both sides think the other side is doing it to them. It's kind of funny, interesting.
Dave, do you know? And I don't know this. Do you know what's the population of people with dark colored skin in the United States versus people with lighter colored skin? Or what's the population
probably
of
like
black?
45% white and then 55% other, darker.
Okay.
Maybe, something like that.
How many identify
Black's
as
about
black?
14% maybe.
Okay.
Hispanic and other is like another. Yeah, I think the whites are maybe it's half, and then the other half is not white. I don't know.
I don't have an answer to his question. I wish we did. I'm sorry, hipster guy with a headband. Let's go to the next one.
See a story on TV about a white serial killer, I don't automatically assume that all white people must be serial killers too.
Yeah,
should.
we don't assume. No, we don't. I do not. Do you assume all black men are committing crimes and leaving their kids and getting on welfare and shooting people?
It might be.
If you see the stereotype on TV, you see one guy doing that.
So no, except if people, whether they're black or Hispanic or white, if people are dressed a certain way, I might make the assumption that they're more likely to interrogate me for my wallet, and I just go to the other side of the street.
Well, yeah. I mean, would you rather see Denzel come? If Denzel's coming at you with a suit on, and then Eminem's walking towards you with his baggy pants and his teardrop.
Oh, I would avoid.
You're going to go
Eminem
to the
like
Denzel
the plague.
side immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this guy thinks that everybody sees a black guy getting the zip ties out, get put on the hood. We're all assuming all black guys. No, that's not the case. We don't.
This guy has a well-groomed goatee, a nice button-up shirt, and I would go talk to him and have lunch with him.
Yeah, he looks perfectly nice.
But half of the students in my classes that I teach sort of look more like the Eminem type. And if I didn't know them, I would probably avoid them too, just to avoid the trouble. Like, no, man, I don't have any
potential of trouble.
I'm not selling anything.
I don't have any weed.
Like, no, thank you. I didn't even want to have the conversation. All right, let's see. Talking about race.
Why does talking about race make you feel so uncomfortable?
Is it because you think that you'll be perceived as racist?
Pause. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
well, of course.
Absolutely.
All these questions are saying, "Why are you racist?" That's what the question is. And here would be the question. It's time we had a serious discussion about race.
We have to have a conversation.
You hate black
country.
people. Here, you ask me. Ask me.
Dave, you hate black people. Why is that?
No, I don't. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do, Dave.
Conversation over. There you go. That's why. But I like talking about race because it's fun.
You must.
We're doing it now. Even if there was a black gentleman here, we would still talk about this, I think.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
We're not doing ourselves any favors by answering all these questions. I think that we're getting more and more. Black Lives Matter is probably already. There's a van pulling up to the front of your house right now.
All lives matter.
Okay, if you say so.
Talk about race?
You don't really believe that racism is over because we have a black president, do you?
Why is it
No, racism only just started.
But I have a black friend. Does that count?
Oh, that's coming up, by the way.
Oh, okay.
so easy for you to notice when there are no white people around, but you hardly ever notice when there are no black people around?
Well,
Hey,
I'm just gonna say,
if you're the black dude who makes a wrong turn in Alabama and goes down a wrong road, and you end up at Meemaw's family reunion there, and you're just a black dude driving up, and you got your rap music on there, and you're smoking weed, maybe stereotypes.
this is
You
just
could be in trouble,
circumstance.
just like I could be and have been. Not me personally, but I know some Long Beach PD people. White person makes a wrong turn somewhere, ends up in the wrong neighborhood. You might have to run out of there. Well, yeah, so it's just natural. Yeah, you're the only different one.
I have
you have to keep your eyes open.
I've literally run out of a neighborhood in San Pedro.
San Pedro.
Mm-hmm. It was a Hispanic neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I went to my study partner from community college.
Well, that was your first mistake.
I went up to the door because we're supposed to have a study meeting. Hello, it's Sable. I'm here. Hello. And a guy came up. He would qualify as a vato, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the flannel shirt button only at the top, maybe.
Flannel shirt
down,
button,
white T-shirt.
He had a paper bag, a long paper bag. He was
it's a stereotype episode.
clearly drunk.
Oh my!
And he came up and he told me that he was gonna shoot me.
Oh.
And rape my effing skull.
Oh.
Because I was disturbing them by knocking on the door. And clearly I was an idiot and didn't deserve to live because I should have known that nobody was home.
So you woke him up in the other house or something?
No, he was next door and he heard me knocking. He was annoyed because I wasn't from that neighborhood.
Clearly. Okay. All right.
And he basically gave me a few seconds to get out or die.
Yeah, well, that can happen when you're the only different person in a certain area.
Right.
You'll notice it.
I happen to be different than the other people in that neighborhood.
And that sucks, but that's why humans suck. Humanity sucks. Some humans are great. Humanity sucks. That's like one example. And that's why if you're a black dude who shows up at the wrong barbecue, it sucks, but you should probably just go, oh, sorry, keep going.
Now,
sometimes, in the wrong place.
I got to say, man, in my social circles, it's true that we aren't 50% of people of color in any of my groups, but there's different ethnicities, and the people that I hang out with who are black or Hispanic or Asian don't act in the stereotypical way. We sort of all speak and act and dress the same way. So it doesn't matter to me. Anyways.
Why is your goal to be colorblind?
Colorblind. Oh.
I was taught to be that in the 70s. I'm so sorry.
I think, didn't Michael Jackson teach us to all be colorblind?
Yeah. That was old thinking. This is a new progressive, new millennial type 21st century.
Multiculti is beautiful,
no
man.
colorblind. Everybody has to notice everybody's skin shade and think about the hardships they may or may not have undergone and the privileges they may or may not have undergone. And
so I have to.
That has to be taken into consideration before anyone's arrested or given anything, any special treatment or anything. Blah, blah, blah.
So should I have to notice if somebody's skin color is slightly mocha colored?
Yes, you should.
And then consider that their great grandparents might have been slaves in the U.S. or she could have come from another country.
You should take all that into consideration.
Okay.
It should be on your mind at all times.
And instead of dealing with that, I just avoid the conversation altogether.
So many different types of people in the world, yet you can't see color?
Yeah.
Why do you want to say the N-word so badly?
Yeah, Dave, I always wanted to ask you this. Why do you say the N-word so much?
Well, you know, I'm like, and then as soon as the microphone comes on, I'm like, hey, welcome to the show.
That's every other word out of your mouth is like.
Now, I confess, there was a time in like 10 years ago when my white friends would call and I'd be like, Ron Walker, my nigga. You know, I was like doing my little finger rams. And I would always get a laugh from my white friends when I say, what up, nigga? I would do that stuff.
Now,
I don't enjoy saying the word nigger walking around. No.
There's another show. There's another podcast that I listen to. called The No Agenda Show, and Adam Curry will slip that in every now and then.
He'll just say nigga for no reason.
No, in a proper context.
Oh, okay. Let's try to break the word for the most times the word nigger is uttered on a podcast.
Well, President Obama said it on a podcast.
Oh my God, yeah, Mark Maron's.
So we could say it, right?
No, he's the anointed one.
Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. Here are
No, do you give a shit about saying that? I want to say it. No.
Well,
I will say it if I want to, but I don't want to lose my basketball team. If I'm standing in my kitchen, I have said some things in my kitchen with a glass of wine that could lose me my basketball team.
the N-word was the first Islamic extreme terrorist.
Yeah.
So you knew that if you were white and you said the N-word, somebody was going to come and kill you. You knew it. That's what everyone said. That's what you came to believe. Now, if you talk about people, Islamic terrorists and Sharia law and how crappy it is, then they come and kill you. That's why we haven't played our bit, the jihad couple.
That's right. We still have the long lost bit that's never going to be played.
It's good. Anybody that comes in the studio gets to sit down and listen to it.
Maybe we should offer a for-pay platform of our podcast, and we'll let them hear the jihad couple there.
If you were to, if a listener were to send us how much money on PayPal?
Oh, I don't know. Just 99 cents is fine because it's only 30. It's a 30-second bit.
So if you came to the studio and you gave $1 in PayPal or more, you could listen to this.
Or if you buy something on Amazon, send us a receipt. We'll send you an MP3 copy of the jihad couple.
But if we send the MP3,
unedited jihad couple, not the edited version.
No, we got to send the edited one.
What?
We really don't want to die. Let's do the next question.
Okay.
I don't use it. What makes you think you can?
She doesn't use it? I don't believe that.
Of course
she probably does.
You always want to touch our hair.
I don't want to touch your hair.
No, I'd like to touch cute girl's hair. That girl's not really that cute. She's okay.
I don't actually like
this
to
girl's
go up
pretty cute,
and touch random girls' hair because it's usually slimy or greasy or has stuff in it.
Well, I got to tell you, though, there is the girl that has the Jufro. I used to work with her. I would actually come up and touch it because it's so it feels like spongy. It's nice. Well, it's not like it's like an animal, which she is assuming. Oh, he's a white man. He thinks he's feeling a goat because I'm a black woman.
Well, so this lady,
I just like the way
this lady thinks it's about black woman's hair. But let me tell you, Dave, my middle child has a Jufro, big curly hair.
He's got Sideshow Bob hair,
and women come up to him all the time and just touch him.
I touch his hair too.
They walk out of stores onto the sidewalk to come and touch his hair. Their faces get big. They go,
he's got a fantastic head of hair.
And they say, can I touch? Sometimes they don't even ask. They just reach up and they start touching
So these
his hair.
are evil, racist white women who want to touch your black son's hair. I got it. I totally got it.
Except that my son's not black.
Oh, okay.
So they must be anti-Semitic Jew
haters.
haters.
They're Jew haters who want to touch his freakish goat hair.
So all the more than 100 random strangers that have come up and either touched his head or asked to touch his head.
Does he have a little hand sanitizer thing around his neck, just squirting on them when they? But she looks pretty angry to me, and I bet she uses the N-word. She's kind of cute. I'd like to teach her a lesson in a good way. No,
you think she needs a little
good way
something
for me.
to get her attitude straight?
Yeah, she needs attitude adjustment.
Does she look like she needs a little D to get her?
Yeah.
We've moved on from racism to chauvinism.
It was okay to touch people without their permission.
Why do you feel like having one black friend makes you a cultural expert or not a racist?
Now that guy slouches worse than anybody that I know.
He's a sloucher. What up, sloucher?
That is terrible. I feel sorry for that guy's back.
So when a black friend makes you not a racist,
well, that means we're not racist.
Yeah, well, he said, why do you think that? I don't think that because I'm still a racist and I do have one black friend. Well, so fuck you. I do not think I'm not a racist because I have one black friend.
I took an online test that proved I wasn't a racist.
I took that one too.
Did you pass?
A long time ago. Yeah, it said I showed no bias.
There it is.
You go.
Only black friend comfortable with being the reason why you can't be racist?
By that logic, then I'm not racist. I have.
You're probably not racist.
No, he is.
He's not racist.
I have no
He's
idea.
a white guy with black skin.
Oh my god, he would punk your ass out if you said that.
Ton of white friends.
Why do you feel comfortable cursing at your parents?
Why do you kiss your dogs on the mouth?
Oh, those are two fast things.
Yeah, cursing at your parents.
I don't think you should do that. Personally, I would smack my children around if they did that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't allow that.
No,
That's
I wouldn't.
disrespectful.
I don't know. Well, these are shitty families. I'm talking about trailer trash people like in the mobile homes who yell obscenities at their parents. And you know what? Their parents are probably shitty and deserve it.
Some people let their kids go out of control. I have seen 6, 7, and 8-year-old kids scream and shout at their parents, and I wanted to smack the kids because of the way they were talking to their mom. I wouldn't stand for that. So,
but you know why they're doing it, because they've been allowed to do it and they've almost been encouraged to do it.
It's just bad parenting.
It is bad parenting.
So what was
and
the
they
other
kinda
thing
get what
she
they
said?
deserve. Crap.
Let me jump back. There were 2
I
quick
forgot
ones.
now.
Do you feel comfortable cursing at your
that
parents?
Why do you
Lightsaber
kiss your
noise.
dogs on the mouth?
Kiss your dogs on the mouth. There's a lightsaber noise just humming in
You
the
know,
back.
I can't turn that off.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's something on Google, on YouTube. So
Kiss
why
your
do you-
dogs on the mouth.
Why
Do you kiss your dog on the mouth?
Why do you kiss your dog on the mouth?
I want to make sure he hasn't been sucking other dogs' cocks. That's why
Okay.
I do it. I want to taste and see because I know what all the other dog cocks in the neighborhood taste like. I
So
want to make
it's
sure he's
jealousy.
not sucking them off.
Okay,
So I'm a little jealous. Yeah.
so jealousy.
You can't pronounce black names like Quivanjene.
What?
Quivanjene? Can you say Quivanjene?
What?
Quivanjene.
Can you say that slower?
Quivanjene.
Quivanjene.
Yeah.
I had an.
We can't say that, but we can say whatever he's going to say.
I had a battle buddy in the army. So when you're in
I know.
training,
Okay, don't ask, don't tell.
when you're in training,
I
you
understand.
had- no, that was before gays were allowed. You had to team up with somebody, and so my battle buddy, his
okay.
girlfriend's name was Patience.
Oh, right.
Patience. I could say Patience.
Yeah.
Let's see what
That's
his
great.
examples are.
People picture the word patience in your head.
I had him spell
I don't know
it
where
for
else
me
you'd
one
picture
time.
it,
I was surprised.
But can say names like Schwarzenegger, Galifianakis, and LaBeouf just fine.
That's because those actually are
Schwarzenegger,
German,
Galifianakis.
French, and
LaBeouf.
LeBeau. That's French. What was the other one?
Galifianakis.
That's Greek. These are all white names.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, how come you can pronounce white names, but you can't pronounce black names? What's he?
They're not
talking
black
about?
names. They're African names.
Yeah. And it's just Quivanjene. Okay, whatever. I can say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I don't. I stopped it where it says Black Lives
You
Matter.
All right.
Growly Bear wants to know if that is a real black name or if it was made up.
Probably. It's probably. This guy looks like he's legit. He probably got it from. It's a friend of his, probably. I bet you. Just looking at this guy. I make snap judgments about people.
Why do
looking
you
at
feel like all lions' lives matter, but black lives don't?
Good
Girl,
Good question.
did you listen to our Cecil the
Keep
Lion
going. I
bit?
think he follows up on that. Go ahead.
Why is a lion's life in Africa more important than the lives of black people here in America?
It's not.
I'll bet you this guy would be opposed to using DDT to kill mosquitoes in Africa. So he thinks. I bet you he thinks that lions' lives are not more important than black lives here, but certainly are more important than black lives in Africa. Because I bet you anything he would support the ban on DDT. I could just tell by looking at this motherfucker. This smarmy little millennial hipster guy.
It's his smug look.
Yeah, he's very smug,
He's
and he
smug.
can tell me what's what and how I'm bad guy for saying that some birds' eggshells would be thinner if we used DDT to save fucking millions of lives of Africans over there who die from
Right.
malaria. So fuck that guy.
All right. Did you hear a clicking in the recording?
No.
I thought I heard her clicking. Oh, well, it's just me.
What did Simba ever do for you?
I get it. Lion King was an awesome movie. But so was Selma, and so was Malcolm X.
Why is it so
not
hard
awesome.
for you
Good.
to acknowledge your privilege?
How does it feel to
Hard for you to acknowledge your privilege. I'll acknowledge that. Yeah, I've probably benefited from the white guy thing and the white guy stereotype. Like
I'm banking on
this guy's probably not going
getting
to
it
mug
someday.
me. That's a privilege. People aren't scared of me. Yeah,
You know-
I'll acknowledge that.
You know, I moved to a part of town and it was really exciting when I moved out here when I went to the store and everybody spoke English. And I realized that this is crazy, but I've been living in Southern California my whole life, except for a brief stint in the Army. And most of the places that I went to, I couldn't count on somebody speaking English or English in an accent that I could understand
Or
readily.
Yiddish. I know you like to run the Yiddish sometimes.
So I got here, I went to the store, and I could understand what everybody said. I thought, man, this is fantastic. So
How does that relate to white privilege again? I'm not following.
it's my
you.
privilege because I can live in a neighborhood where everyone
I got
speaks
you,
the
yeah.
same language as me, right? Where
Okay.
I
I think she means that we started out, we started out ahead and as far as the 100-meter dash goes, we get to start like 10 yards up ahead of time. She probably means something like that. I'll acknowledge that. It's fine. Please acknowledge, though, that there is black privilege now, which is, hey, you didn't score as high on the test here, but we'll let you in anyway.
That's right.
And we're afraid to fire this person, even though they're shitty, but they're black. Acknowledge black privilege. I'll acknowledge white privilege. Okay. There you go. God,
Not
Jesse's
be
going
the
to be pissed
spokesperson
off at me, isn't he?
Don't talk over this guy.
Sorry.
Though. Can't hear him.
Your entire race at any given time.
Must be nice.
What was he? I think that was the last thing. Okay.
To not be the spokesperson.
All right.
Why is it
Oh.
so hard for you to acknowledge your privilege?
How does it feel to not be the spokesperson for your entire race at any given time?
Must be nice.
I don't know what
Meaning, whatever some black person talks, everybody assumes they're the spokesperson for, like Reverend Al Sharpton. I guess we all think that he's speaking for all black people, which
he says he is.
he says he is, and the media treat him as though he is. I don't think he is, but I think these people would tend to probably agree with someone like him on most things, which is a total conundrum, palindrome, mystery wrapped up in an enigma.
All right. Well, if you have any thoughts, if you're in the chat room like Growly Bear, you can let us know right then and
Let's
there.
just call it the Growly Bear Room.
The Growly Bear Room. We're going to rename it to the Growly Bear Room. Of course, our titling doesn't work, but I can change the name. If you wanted to let us know what you thought, you could send us a message on Twitter at Sable and Dave, or you could give us a phone call.
Let him who hath understanding reckon the number of the podcast, for it is a Google number. Its number is 657-206-0777.
What was that again?
657-206-0777.
Be the first caller ever.
No, second. We've had a caller.
Okay, we've had one caller.
We've had a caller. Well, I haven't been
And
checking.
it was the guy whose voice is on the goddamn thing saying the number.
So
not me, the other one.
So I mentioned to my wife that I wanted to have that chicken that he brought, that crock pot spicy chicken, and she made it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah, it was. I made a little too much of it, though. I made like a giant vat of it, which is really designed to be shared by a bunch of people. But I was thinking, I'm going to eat this the rest of the week. And
I've had chicken every day.
I got a little tired of it after 3 days, though. But it took a while. It is good stuff. That red hot buffalo chicken, shredded crock pot chicken.
I put
Very
that
good.
on a little bit of brown rice. I know
Yeah,
you're
sorry.
not. You're not.
No, I
eating
saw the
rice
Cinema
now.
Centuries tweeted something. I'm like, maybe Gordon's angry that I dissed him on the. On the, I think he just retweeted our thing. So sorry, Gordon. Okay, well, hey, look, we went over an hour.
Dave, I think we have a pretty good show. You want to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
What do I have to do to wrap it up?
Well, whatever you want to do.
We already gave the number, so we're good to go.
We gave the number. Send us a message at Sable and Dave.
Go to our Amazon banner there on our site and click on it. Go buy something. Doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
We get to wet our beak.
If you're going to spend your money anyways, go to the indispensableshow.com. Click on the Amazon link. That'll take you to our Amazon store with a little affiliate badge, and then we'll get a couple % of whatever you buy.
Yeah, if you did, let us know, and we'll send you a copy of the Jihad Couple, the band, because we banned it, the band bit from our show. We're not even going to put it on our upcoming album.
This is preemptive censorship.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Dave. See you next week.
Oh, Gordon was listening. He said, "When did I get dissed, tough guy?" Oh shit! I didn't really diss him. I just disagree with him on the Big Short, which I liked.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Gordon, thanks for listening. If you ever
All
want
right.
to chime in, you can text us since you have our numbers, or you can jump in the chat room.
Or he can just come back in again too.
Or Gordon,
we got a seat warmed for him.
We'll be happy to have you come back in.
Yeah. Right on.
All right. Thanks, Dave. I'll see you.
All right. Bye.